I care about in love, but wait, maybe I'm getting too emotional. That's exactly what they say you ain't supposed to do. Suppress your feelings, never talk about your pain. Can't appreciate the sun without acknowledging it rains, right? That's right. So this a moment of clarity, and make sure you always protect your energy. You stay focused and your life gon' be lit. And you are now rocking with Celeste, the therapist. Let's go.
All right. Hi, beautiful people. So if you are watching me on the replay, thank you so much for watching me. I appreciate you. My name is Celeste. I'm a therapist from Boston. I come on, I talk to people that are doing things to empower the lives of others. I do that by sharing their story. And I've been podcasting since 2018. And when the pandemic started, I decided I was going to come on in March, 5 days a week, and talk to people that are doing things to empower other people, to just help people kind of shift their mindset. So before we get started, I wanted to tell you guys about this wellness wheel that I didn't create the wellness wheel, but I created a workshop where you can go to celestetherapist.com, watch the video for free, and learn about different ways you can work on yourself. So a lot of times we get stuck, and there's so many different areas of our lives and we don't know where to start. And so this will help you get a starting point on where to start. So now I'm going to bring on my special guest and have her introduce herself to you guys. Hello. Can you introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes, I can. Hi, I'm Betsy Hinkle. I am a mother of two and a violinist and the founder of musiConnects.
Yes. And I'm excited to have her on. So my two youngest children are in musiConnects, and it's a really great program. And I thought it would be amazing to have you come on to kind of talk about how it started and why you started it. So you said you're a violinist. How long have you been playing the violin?
I started when I was 5 in kindergarten.
Uh-huh.
I had a program at my public school in Florida. So that was really great. An opportunity that my parents are actually musicians. So while music was very important in our household, my parents didn't have that much money to just afford lessons. So programs through the public school were perfect for me. And I actually, this is a story that not all my students know, but they're going to know now. I quit after 2 years in I guess second and third grade. Yeah. And then I started again in 4th. So, but I still played after that, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. So you started off playing at 5. You quit for a couple of years, then you picked it back up, and you continued, obviously. At what point did you start to think about creating a program, because this program has been in existence for a while?
Yeah, so I'm actually much older than I look. So the program is we'll be entering our 14th season, I think, right now.
That's crazy.
Well, we started in 2007. Did I get the math right?
Yeah.
So it's either 13th or 14th. Yeah. But that for me was 8 years after graduating from my master's degree. And I did that here in Boston. So why I started musiConnects, it was a combination of it was kind of a perfect, I don't want to say storm because it was actually a good thing, but a perfect culmination of lots of different things. I had been working right out of grad school. I got some pretty lucrative positions at private schools in West, Weston and that area. And then really wanted to recreate how I was teaching. I kind of learned how to teach there, but then I made a lot of decisions about how I wanted to teach in the future. And I knew I wanted a fresh new beginning. And I was really interested. I've always kind of been interested, even since I was little, in working with kids who don't have as much access to what I had as a kid. So that was just kind of drew me to Boston Public Schools areas. And also as a violinist, I I had been freelancing in sort of orchestral jobs. And orchestras are fun. It's like there's a lot of work there, which is nice. But it's my favorite is to play chamber music. And that is where you have a small group of people, like 2 to 10 people, ideally 4 people. And I wanted to combine my love of chamber music and performing chamber music with my desire to work in a more community-minded setting. I was inspired by an organization in Providence called Community Music Works, and they have been around. They're 10 years older than us, so they're, I guess, entering their 24th season. And they offer free violin, viola, cello lessons, and they have chamber musicians in residence. And so I wanted to create something similar here. There were some differences in how I went about it, but yeah, I was really inspired by, I was just inspired to start something, and I applied for a couple of grants. I didn't get them, but what that did was help me solidify my ideas. I had to like put it in writing and say, I'm going to do this. It was like a little bit of a visioning or manifesto. Yeah. So then it kind of, and then through writing the grant, I had to make a partner. So I just reached out to this one elementary school in Mattapan, the Chittick. And well, actually I reached out to 5 BPSs, and they were the one that answered. So they were the ones that said, yes, come, you can teach here. And then they got a surprise grant that they didn't know they were going to get, which helped us to start.
That is awesome. So for anybody who's not familiar, musiConnects is a nonprofit created to model and teach self-expression, peer leadership, and community development through transformative power of chamber music. You came up with this mission statement, I assume.
I did. I mean, I had a little bit of help, but yeah, I basically did.
What is it about music? Because one of the things, if you notice, musiConnects, the way she has it, I love the fact that you connect the C. So there's only one C, even though it's called musiConnects, there's one C. What is it about music that you think that you are feeling allows people to connect? Because I'm assuming that's why you want it, part of the reason, right?
Yeah. So there's so many layers of how music can connect. But so through the between teacher and student, or person to person, there's a lot that can be connected. A teacher gets this 360-degree view, especially a music teacher can get this really well-rounded view of a student and create a close relationship by working with them year after year. And so there's connection that way. And then there's connection between the chamber music. So chamber music is our mode, our model. So the faculty, the grown-ups, the teachers, we all play chamber music together. And so we find that gives us personal, obviously professional connections that are quite deep, because we're learning to communicate verbally, but also non-verbally. And then we teach that to our students through their chamber groups. So ideally, a student in a chamber group is learning deep communication skills with their peers. Now, when you first have little kids in a chamber group, it's more about, let's listen to everyone's ideas, or let's, give respect to the room, or, different things like that. And then it can grow, but it takes years, but it's worth it. It can really grow into a deeper understanding for your fellow human beings that are in this small group with you. And then the connections between the families and sort of, it's like we broaden everything out to the families, because we think it's really important to include families in everything that we do. So it starts out as just coming to the concerts, but then that can grow into the relationship with the teachers through the student. So then there's like this triangle between the music teacher, the parent, and the kid. And then so then each parent can hopefully connect with one another, being part of this community, special community that's different than anything else that they're a part of. And then hopefully that can broaden even wider into the community that we're in. You know, we've placed ourselves in the Mattapan as like a central area. We definitely serve kids from all over Boston, beyond Boston, obviously, but we've just the sort of, you know, central nucleus of Boston, of Mattapan neighborhood of Boston. The professional musicians, we perform in parts of Boston, parts of Mattapan on purpose. You know, we perform at the Mattapan Library, we perform at the post office, and very community center, exactly. So and that's where we love to perform. That's like our heart is there, you know. So
that's good. No, so yes, you know, when I thought about music connecting, I was thinking basic of just music and people enjoying the music, but the way that you just described your mindset and thought process around it, it makes a lot of sense. So, you know, being that I've been with you for a couple of years, I've, you know, seen you at the library, at the community centers, and you're right, there is this connection that takes place. And I'm a big firm believer that community is important. And I think what you offer is an opportunity because you're in areas where, you know, we would not be able to afford those lessons. I remember when my son was starting to school and you guys were at the table and it was like, oh, there's these, you can sign up for violin. I'm like, for free? I was like, are you sure? Because nothing's free. And they was like, yeah, it's free. And it's been a really great experience. So I'm like grateful that, you know, your heart was placed in Mattapan to like provide these services for the kids because they really love it. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Now you've been doing this work and it's been going well. You know, I even carried over. So the fall of 2019, we signed up again. And then March happens, right? Like we got our violins, March happens, and then like there's this pandemic, and now your program, which is based off of that interaction, right? They meet with you in person, and there's that interaction. What goes on in your mind around this time when this happens?
Yeah, I mean, we really just had to kind of scramble and figure out what the basic element of our program was. And we decided that was the private instruction, and that was the easiest to pull off successfully. So we just kind of pared down and decided to do that and do that well. That's what we thought we would try. And it's really sad because, you know, private lessons is just one facet of what we provide, and the chamber music and the harmony strings, we have like a small group. It's bigger than a chamber group, but smaller than an orchestra. It's this very intimate group of kids, and they improvise and they do lots of extra musical things. We call it extra musical. And so that wasn't able to really meet. And we just also wanted to make sure that technology wasn't a barrier to anyone. So we just kind of stuck with one thing. And but it's been really, it's more successful than we could have hoped as far as like participation and getting to know the parents even more. I mean, in a school setting, you actually don't see the parents as much because they're in school. And so this was really, I had some really great experiences, obviously, with your family and some others where I got to, you know, I had to teach parents how to tune all of a sudden. And I had to, and also like little kids who are just starting out, I really needed their parents to help them, you know, and that was great. It was eye-opening for everyone. And it was helped to make even more connection, I think, and hope. So, and I think that was across the board for all the teachers. You know, we have actually 6 instructors currently. So.
Okay, so you scrambled and you thought about the fact that, you know, we're still able to do these lessons, and then and you ended up doing your Stand By Me and putting that together? Like what made you come up with that idea to like still create? Because one of the things about Miss Betsy and the musiConnects is that you know, at the end of the year we have this finale where everybody comes together, they do a song together, and to see all the little kids you know, bring all of their skill sets into one space is really beautiful experience. And so to be able to watch it again to watch it on Zoom, considering everything that's going on, like I'm just impressed by that. So, you know, what made you decide to like figure out to put that together?
I mean, really, it was kind of just a collaboration. We only have a weekly staff meeting, and we basically were like, how can we end the year and really, you know, have everybody feel like they've been a part of something bigger, and try to recreate that Stand By Me. So Stand By Me is one of our 3 all play songs, and we actually play 3 on purpose. We play the same 3 songs every year, because they're arranged for multiple levels, so that every single kid, even if they just started their instrument, can perform in the concert and play this part. And then the next year during the concert, they're playing a harder part, and it keeps going like that. So yeah, we wanted to really try to cap off the year and congratulate everyone for all of their hard work. So we just we didn't know how it was going to work or if it was going to work, but we're like, let's just get everyone to do a video. And so all the teachers helped their students make a video, either live or sending it in. And then Liz stitched them all together using acapella or some program. That's not my area of expertise. I'm so glad she did. She like worked really hard, hours and hours, and made it all work. And it brings tears whenever I watch it.
Beautiful. It was beautiful. And for people listening to this, I'll have a link to it. I'll also actually I'll add it to the audio for this podcast so people can hear it pieced together, because I think it was beautiful. So thank you for that. Now, for people that are kind of like at the way you made your transition again, you have your 2 kids at home, and you know, you've been going through this pandemic and trying to balance and manage. Do you have any encouraging words for like parents or teachers, because you're a teacher as well? Any encouraging words on how like you've been able to maintain and get through this?
I guess I wouldn't say it's, I just give yourself grace, because I'm giving myself a ton of grace as far as being a parent. Teaching, I put it all on one day. That was because I had a flexibility to do that. I don't know how flexible people's jobs are, but I just decided I was just gonna it's better for me to do the same thing over and over again, rather than like do 1 or 2 lessons each day. So I just packed one day, and that way I could just be with my kids the rest of the time. You know, my daughter didn't take to online learning very well at all. She liked her cello lessons, but not her school. So I wish I had some more encouraging words. I'm just sort of like,
no, that's good. I love that.
I'm just a real person who's trying to put it up. Like my children have watched so much television. No, it's awful. I feel like once this is done, I just want to get rid of the television.
Me too. No, there's no blueprint, Miss Betsy. Like, there's no blueprint. And you said you wish you had better advice, but that's perfect. I think giving yourself grace. We beat ourselves up. We maybe had this grand plan on what it would look like, and you know, it doesn't, and they're still alive. We still love them. They still love us. I think that's what matters at the end of the day. And you know, so that's amazing. My daughter did well in school, and then online she's very distracted. When they're young, it's really hard to engage, you know, through computer, and so yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So basically, just give yourself grace and just get through it. I mean, one of my kids is a toddler, so. A potty training toddler. So that's I mean, I'm going to send him to school. I know a lot of people are troubled and not knowing what to do. And I feel for you. And I have just decided for our family,
Mm-hmm.
my mental health is more important right now,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the cases are going down. So I feel comfortable sending him. His daycare is opening back up, so we're going.
Awesome. Now, if people wanted to learn more about musiConnects or support your mission and everything that you're doing, how could they do that?
Yeah. So there's lots of ways to support what we're doing. If you're interested in being a part of musiConnects, like having your child or yourself, because we actually teach all ages of.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. The grown-up lessons are usually in our Roslindale community program, which is the sliding scale tuition. And we have other kids in those lessons as well.
Okay.
But our public school residency programs are at 4 sites. Well, actually 2 community centers and 2 schools.
Mm-hmm.
And we encourage people to go on our website, www.musicconnects.org, which is right at the bottom. And there's pages about our programming and how you can join our, it's usually a waiting list that you're joining, but there's lots of movement. So you never know. I say sign up as much as you can. Don't be afraid of the waiting list problem. And then we as professional musicians who are the faculty, we perform as we talked about all over, and we try our best to advertise these concerts, but we want as many people there as possible. So join our mailing list so that you can find out about when we're performing and where. And then we accept all monetary donations and welcome that as well. Of course, that goes towards all of our programming. We provide our lessons in our 4 residency sites for free. And that includes the instrument.
Yeah, everything's free.
Yeah, it's really free. Well, we have a $20 enrollment fee every year.
But
yeah. And so we accept donations at our website. There's a page you can go to. I think it says support us.
Mm-hmm.
Also, even like if you have an idea for a concert venue, we're always looking for connections in the community that, we've made as many as we can, but we want to keep working on that. And whether in Boston or not, I mean, it could be anywhere. So just if you have a church or a community center near you that you would like a performance at, I think we're interested in learning all about that. One other thing we do is we have house concerts, which are kind of like, if you think about like somebody running for office and they have like a house party, it's kind of like that. And it doesn't have to be like, we do of course have house concerts where we definitely ask people to give money, and they do, but that's not necessarily the point. Like, we don't need to gather as much donations as possible. What's more important is making connections and meeting people. And so, people can host a live music event in their house. We actually have a virtual version that we're working on just in case. So just to spread the word and let people know about our work. So that's another way you can support us.
That is awesome. I learned so much. I always hear chamber music. I didn't know like the numbers and the difference, and so it's really amazing what you're doing and all the people you're helping. I enjoy musiConnects. I'm always going to support you guys and everything that you do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Anything else you want to add that you think you forgot?
I think that just about covers it. Please contact us through our website if you have any more questions. Definitely.
Yay! Well, thank you, Miss Betsy.
Thank you.
I call her Miss Betsy because my kids call her Miss Betsy, so that's.
I know. I don't require the Miss, but
I know. Sorry.
No, some people call me Mrs. Betsy because I'm married.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful to be here. Thank you so much.
Bye. Oh, I love her. So that's musiConnects, an amazing organization serving the community in Boston. So I'm grateful to her and starting that program. I had no idea it had been in existence that long. It's a long time. So you can find out more, musicconnects.org. So tomorrow we'll be back for the last podcast until I come back in September. It'll be the last live podcast. We'll be back 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And even though I won't be coming on live, I'll still be on social media. So you can always follow me, Celesta Therapist on all social media platforms to stay connected. I'll be resharing different podcasts this is episode 233. So there's 232 episodes currently out now that you can tap into. And so if you have a show idea, September, I'll be coming back on. We'll still be doing the live podcast. So if you ever wanted to come on the show, have a show idea, you can DM me or you can email me, info@CelestaTherapist.com. I love highlighting people. I love talking to people that are doing things to empower other people. September, but don't worry, I'm still going to be around on social media. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to have Miss Deb on. Miss Deb, who I just put up right here, she, my son's in her program. He's autistic, and my son is 16. And when he's actually my cousin. I adopted him when he was 5, and yes, we will be in touch. And I adopted him when he was 5, and I got him into the program when he was about 8. So he's been in there since he was 8. And she's in the community as well in Mattapan, actually. Yeah, Miss Deb and Miss Betsy I say Miss Deb because that's what my kids call her, Miss Deb. Miss Deborah and Miss Betsy, I got to connect you guys because actually you're both in Mattapan doing amazing things. Now that I just said it out loud. But she has an autism nonprofit program where she is working with the autistic community and teaching social skills and all of that. She's tremendous and amazing. So I'm definitely going to have her on. But if there's people in your community, yes, the Garrett Presley Autism Resource Center, yes. Every time I go to my kid's doctor's appointment and I bring it up and tell them about everything that she's doing by herself, she started this by herself. I think that's so amazing. And she does amazing work with the people that she works with to make sure that they're being acclimated into society and having the same life that, they deserve just like everyone else. So I appreciate her for that. Hey, Andre. So, so if you know anybody that's doing amazing things in the community, helping to empower other people, I like highlighting people because I believe that sometimes when we get stuck or we feel alone, we may not realize there are other things or other opportunities out there for us in community, just like Miss Betsy talked about connecting the different parts of the community. I feel like when we are connected, it really gives us hope. It uplifts our spirit. And so that's my goal in this podcast. So the more, the merrier. So yeah, definitely email me, info@CelestaTherapist.com. Find me on social media, Celesta Therapist. See you guys tomorrow. I'll be on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will talk to you later.
Life that I care about and love, but wait, maybe I'm getting too emotional. That's exactly what they say you ain't supposed to do. Suppress your feelings, never talk about your pain. Can't appreciate the sun without acknowledging it rains, right? That's right. So this a moment of clarity, and make sure you always protect your energy. You stay focused and your life